big old butts.
Connie!
What?
I'm so curious if we're all muted.
We are all muted,
there we
apparently. Oh, are we okay?
Testing, hello. Okay,
Look
no
at
worries.
this
I'm good.
happening.
Okay, great. Yay! You definitely didn't hear me say big old butts when I was muted. Anyway, welcome back, everybody, one and all, to the Chaos Protocol. No matter if you're tuning in for the first or 100th time, we are Transplanar RPG, an all transgender, people of color-led, dark fantasy, actual play, tabletop role-playing game channel telling stories set in an original, non-colonial, anti-Orientalist multiverse. This means that we stand against genocide and ethnic cleansing and support all oppressed peoples of this world struggling against injustice, imperialism, and colonization. We must use our voices to build solidarity and fight for the worlds we wish to see. So to that end, free Sudan, free DRC, free Palestine, abolish ICE, and free all oppressed peoples of this world. Thank you all so much for showing up to support and enjoy our story. If you're watching this right now, you are seeing the live recordings of Arc 3 episodes 23 and 24 on Twitch or YouTube. Before we get started, allow me to introduce my fantabulous cast for the evening, starting with our incredible guest for this arc, Hubna.
I'm not on screen, so I don't know if...
Oh no!
Disembodied voice of Hubna.
Oh no! Okay, wow!
Okay.
We're doing great.
All right. Yes, I was totally here the whole time. Hello, everyone. My name is Hamna. I use any and all pronouns, and I am a TTRPG performer and producer. Today, I have the pleasure of playing Rhododendron Takrat, who uses they/ray pronouns, who's very excited for their younger siblings' album release party, which I think is going to be great, and I think we're all going to have a really good time. Speaking of which, I don't know why I said that. That's a weird transition. Val?
It is I, the Lord of having a good time, Valiant Dorian, who
Stop
uses he, him, and his pronouns. You can find me all across the internet at Valiant Dorian or at Also Spirit Bear. Please enjoy that lovely treasure I just set you on. And tonight, I have the distinct pleasure of playing your favorite Doom Boy, Sayer, who uses he, they pronouns. I'm gonna pass it on over to Nova's Bottom. Let's go.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kai. I play Nova's Bottom. I use he, they, and she pronouns, and I am back so excited to return with Mr. Zanin-ish, who uses he, him pronouns, and I'm going to pass it on over to the healer, Sam.
I was going to say Nova's Top. Hi, everyone. I'm Sam Star. I use she, they, and the occasional they pronouns. And like I said previously, hello, I am Nova's Top, Lumira. The healer, the time mage, bad bitch, she, her pronouns. What's going on, boss?
It's me, boss. So to start off announcements, a massive thank you to our major sponsors for Arc 3, Explain Trade, Hero Forge, and Frivolous Bear Studios. Hero Forge has added a bunch of cool new features since the last time we spoke about them in Arc 2, including, it's been a few weeks since I've shown this on screen, drum roll please, they're brand new color statuettes. They are the perfect way to show off all those unique details you might have to squint to see on a regular sized miniature. So check out Hero Forge today. Their affiliate link at bit.ly/transforge. The T and the F are capitalized. Look at how huge this is compared to my face. You know what I mean? Like, what a statement piece. Also, additionally, some exciting news. Our good friend and podcast editor, Marissa Ewing of Hemlock Creek Productions, is currently crowdfunding for the very queer second season of their award-winning supernatural horror audio drama, Liars and Leeches. Liars and Leeches follows a woman navigating grief and terror in a home where memories and more lurk. For season 2, they are expanding their talented cast and crew, including Brandon Boone, who, if you don't know who that is, they are the composer for the hit horror game Slay the Princess, as well as Ross McFarlane, one of the writers for the audio drama Folklore. You can support their crowdfunder at bit.ly/liars_s2. That's 2 S's in there. Liars, and then a capital S and a 2. And listen to season 1 of Liars and Leeches wherever you pod your casts. I can attest, this is a really cool audio drama. Really check it out if you're if you have a commute or something where you like 80s. Super, super worth checking out. You're the best, Mars. We love you. And I'm going to pass things over to Hubna for more people we'd like to thank.
I will say, first of all, that's very impressive because I love Slay the Princess. So you got the composer. That's very cool. We should all fund this game, in my opinion, or this audio drama. But we would also like to thank our Patreon precepts. Thank you so much for supporting the show and for making this possible. Thank you, Azra, Brooke, The Bow System, Cassidy, Clay, Elvira, Mainman 13, Mark J, Nikolai, Phil, Robert Burke, Rose, Sergeant Danes, Spencer, Squareheart, Taylor, and Zoe. You can join their illustrious ranks too and get me to say your name on stream by using !Patreon in the chat. Consider pledging at the free tier or the $3 tier to start, or you can even gift a subscription to a loved one. You'll unlock behind-the-scenes content and even monthly discounts on the merch store, which recently, I don't know if it's still up, but there was a Connie t-shirt on there, which is pretty cool. And I will pass things over to Val to tell us more about the Connie t-shirt.
Listen up, folks. We didn't get an opportunity, I think, to really thank our great and incredible GM Connie Chung, but you can by going to transplanerrpg.shop and checking out all of our gorgeous apparel, home goods, and accessories designed by my husband. Everyone in chat, our husband. Wonderful.
Our husband.
Wonderful. Use !merchant chat or go to transplanerrpg.shop. As we've said, we've got a bunch of new stuff in the works and a limited edition Connie Metal Tee that will be leaving our storefront this weekend. 50% of the profits go on that tee go towards Crips for eSims for Gaza. So please grab it while you can and help connect the world. Do it for me right now. Go click on the shop right now. I'll wait. Thank you. Passing it over to Kai.
If you're enjoying the Chaos Protocol, please consider donating and leaving us a tip. All tips go directly to the performers and will also support our incredible mod team. Your donations help make our work possible. Use !donate in chat and toss a coin to the Twilight Guard. It really helps us continue to do the work we do and makes future fundraising possible. All right, Sam, give it to us.
Our favorite time, last time on the Chaos Protocol. Time passes in Inferno. Zynon accompanies Lumira on her walk to work where she calls Artemis and finds something she lost. Sayir shares his omen over a meal and makes a promise to Lumira. Ro gains a measure of approval from Willow and reforges their sword. Sayir and Yinghe hit the town while Zynon finally chooses something for himself. Ro and Lumira each find each other by coincidence and harmonize over shared scars. 6 weeks later, after they arrive in Inferno, Yinghe helps Lumira start a new chapter. And that's what you missed last time. Use !recap in the chat to read our full written recap document.
Thanks for that, Sam. And now, the Chaos Protocol is a dark fantasy series that may contain content that is triggering for some viewers. So content warnings for this session may include fantasy violence, blood, grief, trauma, vampirism, romance, references to sex, complex character dynamics, conflict between family members, food and drink, substance use, and mentions of spiders. If you're on Twitch, you can use !CW to get a look at our content warnings at any time. If you are on YouTube, our mods will be periodically posting these content warnings in the chat, so keep your eyes fresh in chat to be warned. And now, the title of tonight's episode. It is No Hunger, No Mercy, No Heart Shall You Keep. From Praying Beside the Teeth That Killed Me by Connie Chung.
The Research Log of Abina Zusha. Chapter 2. The Fundamental Truths. Harnessing time magic is a rare and precious blessing. A gift. Everyone in the journey is touched by time, but few can return the gesture. Most mortals believe that time is a linear progression of cause and effect. And while this is not untrue, it is also a narrow and subjective perspective. Time can be altered, to a degree, by those with the discipline, patience, and drive to hone their craft. And we call ourselves chronologists, or mages, or prophets, or drifters, or travelers, or vaulters, or sand. That being said, it would be arrogant and deluded to fancy ourselves the lords of time. Time does not obey. She's fickle and selective like that. Of course, chronology is not a question of control or mastery. It is a question of mutual respect. It's a question of love. Over the years, I've met a few chronologists who fail to grasp this fundamental truth. They may make temporary gains in their calling, but ultimately all of them will suffer. Still, we can glean much by peering into the river of time. The nature of time, if there is such a thing, is the subject of active, impassioned debate I'm very much involved in. Most agree that the past informs the present determines the future, and the future reflects the past. It's all so connected. But cause and effect are not so easily disentangled. Linear progression is a comforting illusion, a limited and subjective way to perceive time, and certainly not the only one that exists. I have met gods that dream in ages that shall never be. I have danced with prophets who see past and future intertwined. I have come to question forward momentum and think of her more like a cycle, I think. Or, better yet, a spiral. Or an infinite falling apart where beginning and end encircle each other, intertwined like dueling serpents. Time is a tapestry that weaves and unweaves itself every passing second. She is constantly in motion, and it is this energy that we time mages can harness to ply our craft. The energy of what was, what is, and what could be. The endless interlocking possibilities of past, present, and future. The power we chronologists wield is immense, but like any sharpened weapon, certain responsibilities come with its cut-and blade. Our calling is a gift from time. She trusts us with her domain, trusts us with her magic. We must respect that trust, and always try to be worthy of it. A truly attuned chronologist does not seek to control time. They seek to understand her, to build a reciprocal and prosperous relationship with her. The relationship we curate with time is the foundation of our abilities. Personally, well, and Lucy, you are already aware of the details of my relationship with time, so I won't bore my only reader with known variables. Still, we must understand the past to understand the present and the possibilities of the future. By doing so, we can cultivate the knowledge, wisdom, and courage needed to shape a better journey for all. We cannot always force different outcomes, for the journey was made only to be experienced, but we can always make new choices with the time we have. And us chronologists, we have a lot of time.
Strike Team Nova. 5 months, 3 weeks, 4 days, 11 hours, and 29 minutes after the Chosen One dies. 6 weeks, 2 days, 3 hours, and 16 minutes after your arrival in Inferno, and 3 days exactly after Lumira reopens her chronology book, you find yourselves in a taxicab, speeding across that towering spine of concrete and braided steel known as the Inferno Bridge. You are on your way to the release party of Yara Trakar's debut album, and everyone who's anyone is invited. You've had your dealings with the spiders and have even attended a bloodbath, but this is an event. As we pan across the worn leather interiors of this cab, what seat have each of you chosen, and what are you wearing? Let's start with Zynon.
Zynon sat in the front again. He didn't even wait because he's been a little bit sore since getting a tattoo that runs from the bottom of his hairline down to the middle of his back. And he wasn't going to get sandwiched in the back with everyone having to lean against the seat. So, sitting in what looks like at first just a simple dress dinner jacket, basically. He leans back, but the city lights kind of glisten off of black on black embroidery of flowers blooming all over his jacket, just the threads iridescing in the city lights. Across the lapels, there's a few jewels of silver and white just hung off, and then in the middle, a sheer black kimono shirt that crosses just at the center of an open jacket. He wears very tightly fitted black leather pants that end in his very nice cowboy boots. Simple, black, not the ones with serpents and arrows on them. And he leans forward, resting an arm on the side, on the door, and looks over his shoulder, making sure everyone else gets in comfortably.
Seer, we pan across the cab to find you.
Comfortably is a funny word. Sayer is constantly aware of his size. It is a body he has built over many, many years of training. And that awareness means that in this instance, on a leather-worn interior of this cab, Sayer is squashed right up against the door and in the back passenger seat, holding on to the handle just above him and squeezing both his thighs really tight against each other so that his other two compatriots might have a modicum of space while sharing the back seat with him. They are wearing a very intricately embroidered black silk kurta. It has intricate floral embroidery from the collar down the chest. And this kurta is unique in the sense that it doesn't have any sewn on buttons. It is one of those that require custom buttons to be attached to it. He hasn't attached a single one. He also wears a long black dupatta with thick embroidery of crescent moons attached down the border that flow all the way down. He wears it around his arm, and that is in fact the arm that is grabbing for dear life onto that handle as the dupatta drapes onto his shoulder and past his face. And the thread of the embroidery of every piece is in silver. And finally, his trousers are actually a tied up pair of dhoti. It is tied up with floral patterning, the border forming just down the center between his legs, and it also reflects the moonlit embroidery from the patternings before. But you wouldn't notice it now because he is squishing himself against a door as he looks over to the two beautiful people about to enter into the cab and fiddling with his iron hammered moon necklace.
We pan across this back seat to find Lumira.
Lumira sighs in frustration because Sayer is scrunched up in the back, and you always put the biggest person in the front seat. Everyone smaller sits in the back seat. This is common knowledge, but Zynon just wanted to be different. So now everybody has to be uncomfortable in the back seat. So Lumira's a bit agitated, playfully that is, but she slides in, and I think the first thing that you see is she slides in leg first, and it's like a white silk pants that she's wearing and like high ankle boots, almost like stiletto heel. And then next thing you see is curls. Like her hair is pretty much down all the way out. And she slides in. She's wearing.
Quick pause, Sam. There seems to be some modulation from your mic. Maybe an internet connection issue.
Oh no. Okay.
Hold on. You sound better now. Say a few
I'm
more
gonna
words.
do words, homophobic.
Oh my god, you're totally
Is
fine
being-
now.
Wow, this is
Lumira was
rude.
too hot to handle. Yeah, you broke the internet from how hot
That's
you
what
are.
happened. Say
Do you think you could
yes.
take it from the silk pants?
Yeah, so it's she's wearing a pair of white silk pants with black ankle high really stiletto like patent leather boots, and then just curls kind of fall in after as she climbs in. She typically wears like a cloak, but this cloak is a little different where it's asymmetrically cut. So to her left side it's long and it almost sweeps the backs of her calves. The other half is a bit shorter, but it's sheer, kind of showing a almost like a leather harness underneath that she's wearing, that's kind of like propping everything up, and the sheer material kind of falls off to the side, almost like her regular trans cloak, and it's embroidered in this beautiful deep, rich, shiny gold. Some are bits of laurel leaves and flowers a bit, and then there's if you look close enough, you can still see her typical clock gear motif adornments as well in it. And she just kind of like plops in and then looks back up and then gets out of the car to let Ying He get into the middle seat, and then she sits on the opposite side of Ying He.
Love that. Yeah, Yinka kind of, okay, sidles in. They are waifish. They are like the opposite of taking up space. They take up basically no space. It's like they don't even exist unless you really pay attention to the fact that they're there. And Yinghe for the evening is wearing a black linen jacket with a mandarin collar and these hard silk buttons, these loose-fitting trousers, and earrings dangling, shaped like glimmering stars. Their long, silky black hair is separated into 2 intricate braids down their back, each with a strip of fabric woven into it that matches the cosmic patterning on Sayir's outfit. They kind of sidle into the middle seat, and then he looks over at you and pats the seat to their left, Lumira.
Lumira smiles, a bit too much fang, bit too much teeth, a bit, but she does, and sidles in right on the other side of Ying He.
The cab speeds off. The cabbie is very eager to get you all going. They can sense that you all have an air of importance about you. And before you know it, you're on that bridge. They've like pulled up onto the bridge and you're speeding across over the Inferno River. You can see its tides that look red in the evening, swooshing underneath this massive structure of concrete and braided steel. And as the pale starlight filters through the windows and lands on each of your laps, lighting up your faces, glistening against your fangs, what is the kind of vibe in this cab? How are we feeling about the party?
You know, something always happens at gatherings, right? It never just is fine, right? Are we all in the cab in agreement of this?
No.
Let's not speak it into existence, Sayer.
And Sayer's on edge. Like, ever since speaking on his omen, sharing that with Nova, Sayer is relieved and unburdened, but now, instead of the concern being buried deep within his thrumming chest, it's out there. It is known by all who are closest to him, so that makes it infinitely more real, and every waking day is another opportunity for that to realize. And with our track record, granted it was his fault in the Wild Sea, and granted it was also kind of his fault in the Kingdom of Heaven, he is concerned. and they're wearing these sort of like leather sandals, and we can hear it like tapping very quietly on the leather flooring of the cab.
You're going to be okay, Sayer, and it's like we discussed. We're all here for you. We're here for each other. Even if someone tries to, and Yinghe glances down at their miniature parapad, start some shit? Is that the phrase? We'll have each other's backs.
Yinghe,
Did I
what
say
made you
something
think
wrong?
I told you to leave the parapad at home? Don't give me that.
Fine.
What happens if it
Okay.
breaks? Or someone
I'll get-
steals it?
I don't know. I'll get really upset, I guess.
Exactly, which is why I told you to keep it at home. But now it's out, so keep your eyes on it.
Didn't you say
Ryan,
most of
responsible
data
for
on that's
it?
kept in the sky or something?
The clouds. The clouds.
Yeah, the clouds.
The data is stored in the clouds. I don't know.
You
how
just
they
hear
get it up
a
there.
thunk of Lumira's head just hitting the side window, just so exasperated.
Mila, do you need me to hold it while we're at the party?
Do you have any pockets?
And Sayer looks at his dhoti. How big is the parapad? This is an important question.
It's
It's
like
a
a
miniature
mini par-
one,
It's
so
a
it's
miniature
like
parapad,
a
larger
little-
than a phone.
Easy. You see, all right. This is for all the South Indians in chat. We see Sayer look at his dhoti, and you see them like readjust. They kind of like take up a little more space in this moment as they readjust a couple of the knots in their trousers as they expand the size of their tied-in pocket. It's like, yeah, I can keep it now. There's more space
Oh.
now.
I also have
Thank
my
you.
bag.
I'll keep it with Sayer.
And
Everyone
Sayer
watch
sort
Zynon
of-
pack this very normal bag that on the outside looks like essentially just like a nice man's purse, a black leather trim rectangular bag.
Thank God. I thought you brought like a rucksack with us or something.
No. He brought a very nice gentleman's purse, which for
Okay,
the
good.
record, men's purses are gorgeous. Anyways, and he has tucked most of his equipment from his hunting gear into this very rectangular black, like patent leather purse. A normal thing that normal people carry. A purse full of vampire hunting equipment.
Yinghe responds to you as you like offer the bag, a little exasperated and annoyed in his voice. No, I don't want my screen to get all scratched up again.
Sorry, I don't have a divider in here.
Zynon, please tell me you did not bring all of your equipment. Can we just have one nice out where we don't need our emotional support stakes or pair pads?
It's a nice steak, and it's gonna be fine. I wasn't gonna leave without it.
Okay, so here's the deal. Yes, we are going to Yada's party. Professor Ifueko and all of my classmates are going to be here. I would really appreciate it if everyone was just on their P's and Q's around Professor Ifueko. It's really important to me that this is as normal as, and she says normal in a tone which nothing is ever normal for Nova. So she's just begging for a taste, a semblance of possible normalcy. Please.
We won't let you down, Lumira.
Normal.
Sayer looks at you, Lumira, with as soon as you said Professor Ifueko and your classmates, they register it because they know how important your school, your university, and these relationships are to you. And you see Sayer's eyes shrink, the pupils shrink into pinpricks as the social pressure mounts on his shoulders, and he says, Yep. Best behavior. I don't have weapons. I didn't even come to Inferno with weapons, so best behavior.
Lumira looks over at Sayir and grins, so grateful that they are the only one that is taking this seriously, and like reaches.
The look on his face. For it's important for you to know because you were the only one that's seen this, but Sayir doesn't know that you were. This is the same face he had when Amaru spoke to him, and everything went to hell. It is that same level of nervousness.
Lumira registers that, and if she had blood to run cold, it does.
Yinka leans into you, Sayer, and whispers in your ear, "It's okay. On my pair pad, I have a list of conversation starters if you need them. They're organized by type of violent conflict."
Oh, thank you. That
Ying-
I don't. Is that?
Zynon
Okay.
is being as sincere as he's been in most conversations since we've gotten to Inferno. It's like the serious agent that you all knew is on vacation and has not shown up. And he does sincerely mean it. He thinks that he is being normal for Inferno, where everyone is just like this.
That's true. That is important context. So really, conversation starters about types of violence is not terrible, right?
Does anyone any ideas like just anatomy, physiology, normal conversation topics?
People normally
Psychology.
talk about physiology.
Yes.
I don't know if anyone in this cab is normal, except maybe the driver.
Sorry. Zynon leans over to the driver.
Hey, speaking of which, we're here. My bit character for the driver.
We're here.
Please give this to me. Give this to me. See in the background. Give this to me. The cab.
If y'all could see, C looks so tired.
Yep.
C looks so tired. They're so exhausted already.
We're here. Good to...
The cab pulls to a stop in front of your destination, and as you all pile out, you feast your eyes upon the Ojumi Huyen Alumni Hall. This is a old, austere building of rain-dappled brick, slate-gray roofing, and towering columns crowned by medieval parapets. The building's many windows glimmer in the darkness, ringed by intricate carvings of laurel wreaths and running foxes. A wide lamp leads you toward imposing doors carved from stately oak. As you pass through the threshold and feast your eyes upon the interior, you see something as magnificent as its facade. The auditorium you enter into is quite traditional, featuring a proscenium stage, balcony boxes, and solid wood floors, but the decor matches the spiritual heart of the event. The alliance between House Trakar and House Huyen. Select pieces from the ICMA decorate the floor and the walls all around you. You see installations that skew toward the eclectic, the modern, the industrial, and cutting edge. A ziggurat of box TVs displays a looping film of hands, lips, rings, leather. You see lasers and static projecting onto a temporarily erected wall. You see hanging collages mashing classical influences with contemporary twists. This is a pop-up installation meets an underground film festival, and the people here certainly reflect that. The attendees of this party range from street artists in t-shirts and sneakers to tenured professors in cocktail dresses and heels. It is a vertical slice of everything Inferno has to offer when it comes to innovation and artistry. Critics, curators, researchers, writers, painters, academics, anyone with an instinct for pushing boundaries. A few key players dominate the beating social heart of this artistic gathering. One of them is the professor herself, Garbed in a breathtaking orange dress, her hair is twisted into an elaborate updo that glimmers with golden jewelry. Bouquets of wildflowers decorate the spokes of her wheelchair, prominently featuring foxgloves. Twayon's hazel eyes land on another key player in this space, Willow Tracar. The matriarch of the Spiders wears an ultra-lightweight burgundy suit and loose-fitting, high-waisted trousers of the same fabric, cinched by a sleek, braided belt with thin, dangling gold chains and a gold buckle shaped like an orb weaver. The jacket is open, revealing a shirt made of spiderwebs? No. Richly embroidered silk, spun with sheer satin webs. The thin gaps between threads reveal flashes of her medium brown skin, her collarbone, her chest, her midriff. A steep V-shaped neckline plunges toward her navel, held aloft by sharp, wide collars that rest over the jacket shoulders like the wings of a diving hawk. The webs glisten with hand-placed crimson beads that evoke drops of falling blood. Striking geometric makeup adorns Willow Tracar's sharp, angular face. An eye patch, woven from the same cobweb silks of her shirt, covers her missing eye. As the professor smiles and approaches the Weaver, we find another key player of the night's festivities. This one has been circulating the floor all night, checking in with groups, managing vendors, maintaining that delicately balanced atmosphere of elegance and structure. Rhododendron Tracar, how has the hosting been going?
It's been overwhelming, but it's been going well. How can it not? This is for Yara, after all. And when you look at Ro, well, you hear them before you see them tonight, because Ro's hair is held in a singular long plate with a paranda woven through it. And the paranda has mirrors hanging off of the ends that jingle against each other with Ro's every movement, so you know exactly where Ray is in the room at any given time. Ro today is wearing a black top with broad shoulders, all sharp angles, with a plunging neckline that reveals their white ink tattoo of Stabilamenta that has now been expanded out, reaching, crawling up their neck, their hands, all of the top of their body. A warning to all in attendance. Ro's shalvar pants billow out at the bottom, and their normally spindly build and frame is now changed into a very large silhouette, resembling a spider's web. Their all-black outfit is punctuated with embroidery of white yarrow in commemoration of the person of the hour. The embroidery is done in a traditional Pakistani style, geometric florals that are repeated in circular patterns along the fabric. They're mixing Pakistani fashion and architectural motifs in their outfit today. And hanging loosely off of a single shoulder is a dupatta, mesh and see-through, twinkling as Ro moves. And of course, we can't forget that Ro is wearing their signature high heels with spiderwebs crawling up their legs. And they are moving quickly and often around the room, dealing with everything that needs to be dealt with. And to those with a discerning eye, I think you would notice that while yes, Rhododendron is performing, as Ray must, as Ray does, that practice smile on their face, sometimes in certain conversations about Yara's music and the album and everything that this event is for, does that smile actually reach their eyes?
And then, Rhododendron, your gaze is drawn toward the entrance. Your eyes fall on the newest of newcomers here, House Nova. House Nova stands at the threshold of this auditorium, taking in the night's festivities with curiosity and interest. But before you, Ro, can make your way over to them, they are swarmed by other vampires. Lumira, You recognize these undead descending upon you and your strike team. They are the other members of Professor Ifueko's inner circle. Grad students, lab partners, viciously delightful academics who match your hunger for knowledge. And tonight, they are hungry for that most guarded of mythologies, your story. TJ leads the charge, shouting your name over the din of chatter and music. Hey, Lumira! There you are! You finally gonna introduce us to your friends?
Of course, yes. And Lumira will turn and start introducing one by pointing and gesturing essentially at them. This is Zainan, and
Hi.
my friends Sayir and Yinghe as well. Y'all, this is you remember I was telling you about the group of students from uni, my program that I hang out with. Yeah, these are some of them.
Yes.
how
Hi,
do
we're
you
very
do?
normal.
Oh.
Lumira looks just and just grins like, and just steps over to Yinghe and just puts her arm around Yinghe's shoulder, just and rubs it, just calmly smiling, but it might just have a little too much rub into it, but it's still just a smile. And out the corner of her mouth, she's just like, great job.
Thank you. The rest of the grad students kind of raise their eyebrows. A few of them laugh good-naturedly, and TJ's eyebrows shoot up, but then they let out this like big warm laugh, and they clap Yinghe on the back, who goes, oof, because TJ is an extremely attractive, very confident stud with these long black locks that are currently kind of done up in this ponytail, and they're wearing this gorgeously tailored red velvet suit jacket over this like white collared suit that's kind of buttoned all the way up with a matching beautiful like blood red tie. And with one hand in their pocket, they nod and they shake Yinghe's hand, and they actually go down and they shake each of your hands. But then after this kind of display of formality, they let out another laugh and go, ha, I'm just messing with y'all. Come on, bring it in. And TJ kind of like gives a bro hug to Sayir and like a big thump on the back to Zainan as well.
Thanks.
TJ, do me just a slight favor, just one. I know that you meant it well, like the clap on the back, not
Yeah,
to
that
my
hurt.
friends, please. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely,
thank
absolutely.
you.
Sorry about that.
Zainan starts to pull off his jacket, and now visible through his entirely sheer shirt is his brand new tattoo. Yeah, this is it's still healing.
That ink looks really nice, man.
Thanks.
Come here.
Thought I'd show
Lumira
it
like
off.
notices really quick and reaches into the side of her cloak, and like there's a part that's right up at the behind your neck that's getting a little dry, starting to peel. So she has like some antibiotic like tattoo cream that she just like thumbs across the top of the back of your neck just to seal it.
Thanks.
Hey, actually, we had a couple questions we want to ask you. Do you mind if we steal Lumira for a second?
Um,
You mean pick her brilliant brain? Have
Of
it.
course. I mean, who doesn't want to?
if she so wishes. Sayir
I'll-
looks at you.
I'll be right back. I promise.
Of course. Take your time, please.
And this crowd of grad students sweeps Lumira away and kind of like pulls her into the ebb and flow of the social night that's happening. And as they do, Lumira, you kind of walk off with TJ and the rest of your friends, and you you hear one of the other grad students kind of lean in your direction and kind of giggle at you. Oh my god, Lumira, you didn't tell me your dad was hot.
Oh, fuck.
Lumira looks so disgusted. She looks just like you would if someone were to tell you that your parent was hot. Like it like not disgusted, it's just any other way of just being like, I could have lived and died a million lifetimes without ever knowing that information.
Sorry, I couldn't resist it. Keep it to myself next time. Is he single? Sorry, keeping it to myself.
No, actually. He has someone back home.
Oh, okay. Well, they must be very, very lucky.
He is, they are. They're happy. And she says that in a way of being like, yes, he's happy. Now stay away from my dad.
And then you hear a calm voice kind of cutting over the chatter in your direction. Ah, Lumira, there you are. And you see the professor. Sea of people kind of parts as she nods in your direction and with a kind of like twist of her chin gestures for you to approach her.
I think Lumira's feet bring her to Professor Ifueko before she even realizes it. It's like she blinks and she's right in front of her.
Professor Ifueko gives you a small but genuine smile, and as she kind of nods up at you, the other people she's in conversation with, they like politely excuse themselves as she turns her full attention toward you. She says, I have been meaning, actually, to pay you a compliment for that latest piece of coursework you've turned in. Very impressive work, Lumira. Continue to blow me away.
Lumira looks so bashful. She's blushing, like brushing her hair behind her ear, kind of like trying not to make eye contact, but still kind of is making eye contact. I find your class fascinating. That's all. The work really calls to me. And I like your approach.
Oh. What about my approach do you like?
Some professors can just kind of take and regurgitate the information itself, you know? They don't really have that much ties to it or are able to pull on any type of real life or real world experiences that can further our understanding in relation to the concepts that you're talking about. You have a way of making what at first could seem like something that could never possibly be relatable or understandable. You have a way of making that simple, digestible.
Thank you. It is a teaching style I have honed over many decades of laboring at this institution. I'm glad it resonates with you.
Yeah.
Actually, if you all don't mind if I grab a private word with Lumira here. And the rest of the grad students, they nod and they kind of give the two of you some space. TJ gives you, like, raises eyebrows at you and looks at you a bit suggestively and kind of walks off. Kind of giving you a, like, good luck, you got this kind of look. And then
you wanted to
it's
speak
just
to me
you.
privately?
She kind of wheels herself over to off kind of toward the ziggurat of TV displays, where a couple people are like looking at the installation with thoughtful expressions on their faces. Over here is a bit more quiet, a bit more of a reclusive area. And the professor, while regarding the art, says, I don't just mean to compliment you for the sake of complimenting you, or simply for jobs well done tonight, Lumira. I wanted to really tell you that I'm proud of you. Over these past few weeks, over the course of the semester, you have grown immensely as a student. And believe me, you started very far along already. It's extremely impressive.
There was a list of things that they could have said to her as she was like thinking could have possibly have been said, and a few she really, really wishes they said. But being proud, someone actually applauding the work that I put in, that's new. And Lumira doesn't know how to take that. and you can see it in her face, in her eyes. She doesn't really know how to take that. She looks almost confused, but like knows logically that she should be like grateful and saying thank you. So she's like nodding and saying thank you, but in her eyes you can tell she's thrown.
You are definitely the type, Lumira, to keep pushing, to keep digging, to keep seeking and searching and working and working. It's part of what makes you so brilliant. But your brilliance also comes from deep within. No one can ever take that from you. I just wanted you to know that.
And she kind of sits with that because she's noticed it too, internally, the growth that she's made. And she just kind of looks up and smiles. I will. And I won't forget that important lesson.
Good. And when are you going to start calling me Toyin?
Thank you, Toyin.
There we go. And she reaches out and squeezes your hand. It is a gesture from her that doesn't feel like an overreach, doesn't feel like an imposition. It feels natural and comforting. Those cold fingers around yours, looking up at you, and it's reassuring. And then you hear a voice from behind her, Mother, as we see Anise Ifueko approaching her mother with 2 glasses of drink, 2 flutes of it, coming toward you. You've met Anise briefly in passing before, here and there, coming in and out of Toyin's house, but never a full, proper introduction. And you see a young black woman with short braids, glimmering with hair jewelry, wearing a tailored suit of this deep, rich purple, kind of a crushed velvet on the outside. And Toyin lets out a big smile, a very genuine smile. This whole time in this social situation, Toyin hasn't been insincere, but has that kind of guarded manner that everyone in Inferno kind of carries around each other when they're out in public. But that relaxes around her daughter, and you see her look up at her daughter Anise with a familiar expression. It's the same expression she looked at you with. A genuine, prideful glimmer in her eye as she accepts the drink, turns toward the 2 of you and says, I think it's time for a proper introduction between the 2 of you. Of course, Anise, Lumira, Anise.
Anise, pleasure to meet you, and I love that outfit, girl. You look great. And Lumira will reach out and shake Anise's hand in greeting.
And she shakes yours back with a very genuine gurgle of a laugh. And we rotate over all of these bodies, all of these attendees, through the throng of social activity to find Zynon. Zynon, in the wake of Lumira being led off by this crowd of grad students, where do you find yourself drawn to?
Zynon goes to look at the art. He's curious and drawn to this collection that isn't art that he can understand the financial value of or the cultural value of. He just is drawn to it as art. Most of his interactions with art have been for mission reasons or for maybe less than legal acquisition reasons. But in this case, it's just art. He has no other reason to absorb it other than it's there. And it's actually very refreshing, like many things in Inferno, for him to just enjoy it.
What piece in particular are you gravitating toward?
I think he goes to one of the pieces that's sitting out on the floor, a sculptural piece that is meant to be experienced all the way around. And he's just slowly walking and examining it and watching the lights hit it and having deeper thoughts that I think even he realizes about what it means to observe art in the place that it is. Maybe Ro has been having an effect on him the longer he has been here.
Mm. And then you hear a familiar voice to your right say, "Quite the party, huh?" And you see Sakti.
Tell you what, certainly has a lot more going on than I expected.
Hmm. I like this piece, though. Have you seen it from this angle yet? Come on.
No. And he just follows Sakti. This has now become nature.
Hmm. Sakti tonight is wearing a white-collared shirt. The top few buttons are undone with like a loose tie. You know what I mean? Like a loose tie around it. And like these nice dress pants, these nice dress shoes as well. And she stops at that angle that she mentioned. And you notice from this position, the sculpture loses a lot of its structure, a lot of the hard edges. It's outside and it curves in. A lot of concave shapes, a lot of smooth surfaces, almost like opening up a more intimate or vulnerable part of itself that is otherwise unnoticeable. I think I like this angle the best.
Those lights over there don't hit this part.
No, it's completely cast in shadow. And yet, kind of feels like the realest part of the statue to me.
I like it too.
So, listen, Zion, how have you been
Hmm.
enjoying your, couple of months? Has it been months yet at this point? Couple of months in Inferno.
It's been good. Nice to find like I'm finding my feet.
Mhm. You strike me as a cat-like man, Zion, and you always land on him. Seems like you're having fun with, Anu as well.
We sure are.
It's been a while since I've seen her laugh that much.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I don't even think I'm that funny. She must be really having a good time.
Well, she likes tormenting you, and you're a good sport. You like to be tormented.
I do. It's been good.
Listen. You've been a good help to the bears these past few weeks. More than just a good help. Hell, you've basically been one of us. That's actually why I wanted to find you tonight. Listen, Ash. There's a seat in our house if you want it.
Zynon doesn't realize it, but the floor vanishes for a moment. An outstretched offer of home. And then the noise comes back, the room full of people. That's very kind of you. The city, that kind of promise, I don't take it lightly.
I don't offer it lightly. And listen, Ash, you don't have to reply tonight. Think on it. Sleep on it. But, offer's there if you want it.
That means a lot. Really, genuinely.
Of course. You know, I've been around you long enough to know that you're the real deal, Ash.
I just wash dishes good.
I mean, that too. You're a very efficient dishwasher. That's the real reason I'm offering you this seat. No, you care about the people around you. Deeply. That's what matters here.
Sakti Kuatun is a wonderful house, place, people. And Zidon looks around the room, searching for other threads of home. Seir, Yinghe, Lumira. Whatever choice, it isn't because I don't think you're all wonderful. But I'll think on it.
Yes, why don't you sleep on it and think on it, Zion? And don't worry, I can handle rejection if that's what it comes to.
Oh, I don't know. There's not a lot of other places with scratchy vinyl booths like yours.
The scratchiest vinyl booths in all Inferno, guaranteed. Now, come on, let's look at this thing from over here.
Alright.
The two of you pace around, and as you vanish behind the hard angles of this sculptural piece, we pan around the space to find Seir. Zion's gone. Lumira's gone. Where are you?
I think Sayer and Yinghe are walking the space together. Sayer mostly because they're looking for the anchor they always look for at a social event, which is the drinks and or snacks table, for him to find
Sayer?
a plate or snack to nurse.
To your horror, there's no, like, corny punch bowl here. There's no table laid with food. None at all. There are other tables, beautiful ones, scattered throughout the room for places of rest, so people can, like, take a load off their feet and kind of just talk in private. But in terms of the food, they're on the plates of servers circulating around with hors d'oeuvres and drinks.
I think this walk has gone on for maybe like 2 or 3 minutes, and Sayer's like turned on his hunter instincts to search for this oasis. And to his horror, finds no punch bowl, no little corner to nurse his drinks, or I mean, there's the respite chairs, but that's not really what he's looking for. And he turns back to like Yinghe by his side, and they think to themselves, this isn't so bad. I can just keep walking the space with Yinghe, and it's just kind of like this very nice walk around the space, because there's art installations everywhere, folks moving in and out, and Sayer's just taking a moment to be and look at the space. I think there's a whisper of Artemis's voice in his head of like an old training session to take it all in. That's what he's doing right now.
Yinghe is by your side as ever. Your loyal shadow has kind of followed you to and fro, also trying to find food and drink with you. And when the two of you fail, I think you kind of end up wallflowering a little at the edges of the party, looking at all of it, taking it all in. But Yinghe feels quite content next to you. There's no anxiety thrumming from them. They're people watching, which is something they've always done. They've confided as much in you. Back on Zhiguang, they would just watch, look, and learn. And here, they do the same. They're in their comfort zone, watching, looking, learning. But overwhelmingly, their silver eyes are glued onto Lumira.
I think after a few moments, Sayer finally flags. Am I able to flag down a drink for us? I think we deserve a drink as a snack.
Yes, I think a couple servers don't notice you. Like, not because they're rude, but they literally don't notice the two of you going, and they go, like, past. But then the third one comes, and you are able to flag her down and get something.
Amazing. Does this have any impact on my thirst track? Because I'm a hunger boy. This is important for me to know.
Yeah, several of these flutes are filled with crimson liquid that does entice your vampiric nostrils.
Great. When Sayer finally flags down, picks up 2 flutes, hands one to Yinghe, and I think that's when his eyes were initially drawn over to some of the hand chosen paintings that were here. These like larger statuettes and installations interest him, but they aren't as eye-catching to him as paintings are. And as his eyes like linger over brushwork for a moment and then onto the like hordes of people, finally sees Zynon, notes where Zynon is. And when Sayer's eyes fall on Lumira to track where both and all Nova are, as he does as their protector, his eyes fall on Yinghe and realize that Yinghe's looking in the same direction as he is. And he leans in and says, Mila, did you see something?
Oh, nothing bad. It's just
Oh,
people
good.
watching. And
You're really good at
keeping
that.
eyes on Nova. Yeah, it's the benefit of being a shadow mage. People don't tend to notice you. I've heard many things in many rooms.
In here? Anything?
This room? Yes, I've heard many things too. All good things, actually. People are
Oh.
talking about how much they're impressed by Rhododendron Trakar's hosting abilities. Some of them I think were rooting for them to fail, but overall very, very positive.
If I get a better sense of Ro, I feel like that's something Ray would really appreciate.
Yes.
So maybe that's a good thing. And Sayer like lingers over Lumira and Designer once more, and it's just like, yeah, it's nice to be in a nice place again, you and I. I believe the
Yeah.
last time we were at a party, our dance was interrupted. I think I owe you one, right?
And Yinka kind of shuffles a little on their feet. For the first time, you feel a bit of nerves come in, but also excitement. Yes, the last time we were interrupted, I was shunted out of that plane of existence.
I'm sorry about that. Artemis has that effect on people.
Her presence shunts people to other planes.
Even if you don't get shunted physically, it does feel that way.
I see. She is a hand of fate after all. But I would not turn down a dance.
Amazing. And like you see that like boyishness begin to peel past the nerves of Nova's protector as he like smiles a little sheepishly. He's like, well, if we get an opportunity, I think Yara's playing music.
Yes, the invitation said that Yara would be playing a set, a couple of select songs from their album. I'm really excited.
I am as well. So maybe then.
That sounds good. And then you see their eyes kind of float back to Lumira.
Is everything all right, Yinghe?
Yes! Yes, Lumira looks really good tonight. You do too. As does
Redness floods his face. Any blood he has consumed has gone directly back to his face in reflection of human experience, as he feels his undead heart race a little bit, and he stares at Lumira the same way he has stared at Lumira all his life ever since he met her. This longing, this love, that even now, with everything he's discussed with Professor Fueco, watching the three of them, Professor Fueco, her daughter, and Lumira speak, there's still some discomfort for Sayer about what role he is meant to play, if he is worthy of that, of what he's always wanted, if that's even his place. But the love remains. It always will remain. And his pupils dilate looking at Lumira and looking at the gorgeous dress she is in, and he just like, there's a wistful sigh, like he is a protagonist of a romance novel. This wistful sigh as he just says, yeah, she's dazzling.
She really is. Sayer, you know that no matter what happens, between you and anyone else, I still love you.
Did I do something?
No, not at all. No, I just mean, like, you know, if your heart beat quickly for someone else, that's fine. I'm okay with that.
Oh. He says that a little too loud, I think. As
Several heads turn to look at you.
A few heads turn, and so it's like, sorry. Oh, I suppose we haven't really. Yeah. And Sayer like closes his eyes as he pushes his fingers through his hair, and he says, "And I feel the same of you. With your heart, if you feel a connection, a tenderness, there'll be no quarrel from me or argument. I want you happy, Yinghe."
Me too.
And like Sayer smiles and presses a like kiss on Yinghe's forehead. And I think the like Yinghe can tell that Sayer was. This is a conversation that has sat in Sayer's ribcage for so long, and now that it's finally happened, there's a relief. And there's that little sigh that escapes his lips as he says, "Good. I love you, Neela."
I love you too.
And
Babe. I'm trying out a new pet name for you.
I've never had one before.
Babe.
Well, except asshole, maybe. That's from.
A pet
That's
name?
from. That's from Abasi.
Oh, a bossy. Oh, that is cute coming from a bossy.
Yeah. I miss her. Now, and Sayer kind of like leans in shoulder to shoulder with Yinghe, and he asks, "What else do you see?" And his eyes linger on Lumira for a fraction of a moment, as the question lingers again. Could we?
We, speaking of which, pan across the party to find Lumira. Lumira, at this point, Anise and Toyin have excused themselves to kind of go off and meet and greet the rest of Inferno here as well after that introduction with you. So the rest of the grad student coterie returns to your side, and they've been chatting with you, talking about the latest academic developments at IU, your various research projects, whatever's been happening in the town. And TJ kind of like sidles up next to you, kind of leans in and says, "Based on your expression, I'm guessing the professor wanted something really good."
Get your mind out of the gutter.
Hey, I wasn't talking about that sort of thing. It just seemed like, the two of you were really hitting it off. Good news, right?
Always great news. Yeah. Toyin was just explaining to me that they were very impressed with the work that I had been doing.
Wow. A compliment from the professor. She never bullshits, so, good job, Lumira.
That's why I'm holding it in such high regard.
As you should. I'm shitting bricks thinking about the feedback she's gonna give me on my paper, though.
Well, no one told you to do the outline 2 days before it was due. I told you to get at least 2 weeks start on it prior.
I know, but can you blame me for wanting to change the thesis last minute? Because I was realizing with all the source materials that... Listen,
yes,
I am
can
a
blame you
student
for wanting to
of
change the
truth,
thesis last minute.
Lumira. I can't abide by a thesis I can't stand by anymore.
Well, hear me out. What if we put so much forethought into formulating our thesis from the beginning that we knew that there would be enough sources to then back up what we were trying to claim going forward, so that we wouldn't have to change our thesis?
You got me. You got me, Lumira.
I'm just devil's advocate here.
Not even a devil's advocate, just an advocate for proper, academic procedure.
I mean,
Man, you're so good at this shit.
What can I say? And Lumira just kind of like laughs like a little haughtily in relation to that and brushes her hair like all off of her shoulders and kind of like stretches out a bit, not really paying that much attention, but it almost looks like it's in slow motion as she's doing it.
Yeah, TJ's eyes follow the slow motion draping of your hair, and like whatever like next cocky remark they were about to say kind of catches in their throat a little. And they kind of clear it and smile and look back at you, and they lean in and say, "Actually, Lumira, I don't know if your ears have been burning, but kind of seems like your friends have been looking in our direction for some time." They kind of jerk their head toward the periphery of the party where you see Seer and Yinka just
Lumira does that thing where she does not turn around, like she does it very subtly to catch out the corner. And that's why she fixed herself. She felt Seer's stare across the room. So, and she just turns, but peeps Ying-He too, and it's like, noted. And turns back to their conversation. If she had a heart, it'd probably be thudding wildly in her chest, but she doesn't. So she plays it very, very cool. But she is shitting bricks on the inside. But you can't tell. Very,
very cool, calm, collected outside. Inside,
cool, calm,
hyper.
Collected. Yep.
Definitely. You see TJ's eyes linger on Seir and then on Ying-He a beat longer than Seir. And then TJ grins and shoots Ying-He a wink. And then you see Ying-He's eyes like slide off of you and onto TJ. They kind of startle a little, and you see a bit of color, the blood from their drink also flushing to their cheeks.
Oops. And Lumira accidentally steps on TJ's foot.
On that stepping of the foot, TJ lets out a ow. We pan across the party once more to find Zynon. Zynon, at this point, you've been hanging out with a couple of bears, right? A couple of folks from House Kuwatun who have been talking about the art, who have been treating you even more warmly than they have been. You get the feeling that Sakti's invitation was discussed amongst the house, and they all know that you've been welcomed in if you so choose to cross the threshold with them. And you're in the midst of a conversation with Anugata, who is a little miffed because apparently she's been scolded twice about smoking inside the venue.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I was muted.
That is so fine, Sam. Yeah, Anugata looks a bit miffed. She's in this, like, very butch jacket and, like, collared shirt, right? Very, very hot mask butch. But she looks kind of angry, and she keeps, like raising her hands to her mouth as though she has a cigarette between her fingers, but she doesn't because she's just so used to the motion of it. Duh! Can you believe it? Fucking confiscated it.
Here. And Zynon takes a toothpick out of his drink that he acquired and hands it to her.
Huh. And she puts it between her fangs and kind of chews on it. Hey, that's not bad. How do I look?
Pretty good.
You seem like the type to do this. Yeah? I know, there's no smoke coming out of the end.
Yeah, I've chewed through a good number of those.
Hey, 6 o'clock.
Oh. Zynon just kind of coyly glances over his shoulder.
And you see at the entrance to the party, leaning against the threshold, Diablo. And their eyes are on you.
All this beautiful art here. I got an artist I gotta go thank for some Good work.
Yeah, I bet you gotta thank him. All right, go on.
All right. And Zynon just kind of straightens himself up, pats Anu on the arm, and saunters towards Diablo.
As you approach Diablo, you see his party outfit. He is wearing a rich black suit jacket with this kind of cape that drips off his shoulders like wet ink. And it matches the do-rag that he's wearing, also kind of dripping down his back like wet ink. And underneath his suit jacket, you see a collared shirt that's unbuttoned, revealing these chiseled pectorals. And the shirt itself is decorated with text, typeface, an ancient sutra in a contemporary script printed vertically along the buttons. His entire ensemble is innovative, it's eye-catching, it's tasteful, it matches the level of thought and style that many of the artists here have. Kind of raises his head as you approach. Hey.
Hey. You
look nice.
You look more than nice. This is quite a... And Zynon looks Diablo all the way up from his shoes to the top of their head and back down again.
And Diablo does not keep his own roaming eyes secret at all. They travel up and down, lingering on whatever exposed musculature you have to offer. And then a smile, a flash of white fang. Nice pants.
They certainly were an adventure to get into.
I can imagine. You pulling them, straining over it.
Uh-huh. You look like you're quite comfortable. And Zynon steps closer.
Can I rewind that? I meant to deliver that in a funny way.
Yeah,
not in, like,
okay.
a weird sexy way. Like he's like making fun of you for like pulling on those tight leather pants.
Oh, yeah,
But it
okay.
came out weirdly provocative. Let me retry that.
I thought you
Let's
were like fantasizing about
Yep.
the putting on of the pants.
No, it came out wrong. I was trying to do I was going for a comedic delivery.
I was like,
Hold on.
TOS, who gives a shit, right?
I know I went full bulge. I'm so sorry. Rewind. Okay, I'm gonna try that again. I'm just gonna take it from nice pants and we'll go from there. Nice pants.
Thanks. They were exciting to get into.
Well, hey, actually, I think I need to do a checkup on your tattoo. You know, for healing
yeah?
reasons.
And Zynon turns around to show it off, that blackbird's feathers just stretching a little above the collar of his sheer shirt. The rest of it, the red thread on his back peeking through.
Diablo approaches you, and you feel his fingers gently kind of touch where the tattoo begins and ends, like trailing over the raised ink, the now healed over flesh. And they pause at kind of the very bottom of it, and he lets out a low whistle. It looks really good, Zynon. Suits you.
It's very freeing. I like it a lot.
Birds do represent freedom. And this one is tangled up in something. Shot through the heart, too.
Still flying, though.
Persistent little fella. Actually, the light out in the hall is a bit easier to see by. Mind joining me?
Not at all.
Diablo turns and strides out into the hall outside of the auditorium proper. And the light out here is not better to see by. In fact, it's much dimmer. The only light here filters through nearby windows of starlight. No moonlight. It's a new moon. And as the two of you stand in a shaft of that silver light, he turns to face you, his eyes lighting up. I really mean it, Zynon. You look really nice tonight.
Thank you. It's fun to do something different. Try having a good time here in Inferno in a new way.
Nice to see you let loose. Though, ever since I've known you, you've kind of gotten into trouble for letting loose, haven't you?
I'm trying to let loose in a way that doesn't involve me, perhaps stealing something important to someone.
And Diablo's fingers rest on your chest. When did he get so close? He'd approached you, and now it's just the two of you here in this hall. You can hear the muffled sounds of the party nearby, but this moment, right in front of you, is all that's on your mind right now. And he says, well, the reckless part of you, I can't deny. It's attractive.
And Zynon laughs, feeling that hand against his chest. Feeling the bare skin that, again, he so easily shows to Diablo, even though it's something that he keeps to himself most of the time. But through knowing them, the layers just fall away. And he doesn't even realize it. And he smiles. It has been so good getting to know you, this city, the way you see it.
I have to be honest, Zynon. I wasn't sure about you at first. I thought,
Why, 'cause
some
I broke your
hot-blooded
shop?
newcomer. Yes, broke my shop, stolen and got his bike, fought me about it, barely had any control over your thirst. But now, the bears have accepted you. You've done a lot for House Kuatun, and you clearly care about the rest of your family. I really respect that. I like that. You're real, Zynon.
I didn't know who I was when we met. Not really. Freshly undead, freshly reborn. It's been very good getting to know you, getting to know me. And I really like you, Diablo.
Diablo is so close to you now. His smell, his cologne, his eyes are right in front of your face. And he whispers against your lips, "Who are you, Zynon Ash? Who are you choosing to be?"
I want to be someone worthy of all the trust given to me.
The kiss is slow. It is soft. It is gentle. It's hazy. It's nice. You don't know how long you've been kissing for. He's holding onto you, a hand around your arm, the other at your waist. What feelings roil within you?
Lightness. Levity. Not an eternity of heavy weight. No stabbing blade of grief, just being present, feeling held, and being happy.
And second Diablo pulls away, his pupils are blown wide. There's a flush to him you've not seen before, and honestness and openness. Diablo likes thrill, likes recklessness, likes the fight and the flight and the tug and the pull. But as you've gotten to know them more and more, you also know that he likes authenticity. He needed to get to know you first, Zynon, before he did this. And now the two of you resonate on more than just a physical level. And his hand goes up to kind of the lapel of your shirt and pulls you gently toward him as he backs himself up against the wall. And he whispers against you, "Drink."
And Zynon does nothing in this moment sudden. Nothing greedy, nothing born of desire other than just to be closer to him. And he leans in, smells the sweetness of his skin, and ever so gently drinks.
Seer. Back at the party.
Me?
Yes, you, Seer. Back at the
Connie's
party.
been whipping our asses with these transitions all episode. I'm so tired already.
We find you as around an hour and a half has passed at this point in the party. Yinghe has actually gone off somewhere to scope out a different side of the auditorium, leaving you momentarily by yourself. What activity do we find you engaged in?
Player wanders a bit more around the space and goes closer to some of the paintings in this space. And he stops at one for a moment and just looks at it up and down, taking in all of the brushwork, the colors, and his fingers begin to feel a little twitch. He needs to do something with their hands. And Sayer checks the dhoti pockets and fishes out a napkin that he was given with all the other drinks and snacks that Yinghe himself have been partaking in, and also finds, I think, a pen that he was holding onto for Lumira. Lumira, what kind of pen would you carry?
It would be something very pretentious, some type of like feather quill pen, some like fountain ink, like just definitely one that you would have to like, it has like a ink storage, but you would still at some points have to dip into an ink pot. Like what Kai is holding in his hand right now, because he's irritating, affectionate.
Sayer looks at that pen and then realizes that the capillary action has not begun on the pen, places the nib on his tongue, and then starts drawing. He wanders for a little bit before finding an inconvenient wall. He's a large man who decides to park himself at an inconvenient wall, leans back and looks out into the space. His eyes fall on Lumira, and I think they fall on people speaking. There's a group of folks around like Lumira who are laughing. And Sayer looks at this scene and begins to draw with that pen onto this sort of like rough napkin piece, this long vertical piece. And he starts a ink sketch. Lumira, of your beautifully made hair, of you smiling mid-laugh, only the top part of your gorgeous dress that he is sketching out with ink. And right beside you, he draws perfectly from memory the smiling face of their sister. And Sayre imagines what Sing would wear. Probably a beautiful salwar kameez with probably some gorgeous golden thread embroidery. Also a dupatta. Beautiful face of makeup, of course. And Sayre's lost in it for a while as he's able to continue drawing both your and Sing's face from memory. He needs no reference to draw the both of you. And Sayre sits in this sort of wistful longing, layered and complicated and messy. And he just sits there enjoying the small bit of peace and process that he can have on this night.
You don't notice her until she's speaking to you because you're so absorbed in the act of creating. Oh, nice.
Sayre jumps a little bit. Usually when Sayre partakes in these moments, he is in the confines of his quiet room, or alone on his bed in the apartment. And so, he hears the person's voice, his shoulders raise, and then he turns to the direction of the voice.
It's Yara. The littlest spider here is kind of like looking curiously over your shoulder down at these sketches that you've made, and you see that she's wearing black, white, and gray salwar kameez with this richly patterned scarf and these rich flowing fabrics. And you see a silver nose ring glinting on her face, which complements the sharp-edged eyeliner, highlighting bright yellow eyes. And there's a look of like genuinely being impressed on her face. That's really good.
Oh, thanks. Sayre very rarely showcases his art to people, so he rarely receives feedback. So the compliment rests uncomfortably, and the thanking also sits odd on his tongue because this is not a position he's been in. Thank you. You look great.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm not dressing super elaborate, mostly as like a statement to let my music speak for itself or whatever.
That's not elaborate.
Oh, I mean, I guess by some people's standards.
Oh,
How long have you been drawing for? That's really, really good.
Fuck, I don't know. I think since I was like 4.
Wow.
I wasn't very good then, though. I've made some.
I was okay when I
funny
was 4.
ones. Oh, you draw too?
No, music stuff.
Oh,
Playing
cool.
concerts and stuff by then. But hey, you got any finished pieces?
Not on me. Why?
You should show them to my sibling. 'Cause this stuff, I mean, I don't know if that's what you want with your art, but you've got a gift for it.
Huh. Never really thought about that before.
Really? You've been drawing since you're 4 and you haven't thought about maybe doing something or going somewhere with your art?
No.
Huh.
It's just, I just draw because, and Sayre pauses. They've never had to articulate why they do art. They just do it. It's instinct. It's Sayer's overcome with a feeling, and they sit quietly in a dark room and they do art. They feel a grief for his sister, and there's a charcoal piece in a journal. They feel longing and sheer love for Lumira, and he draws. He thinks of Zainan's sharp angular features of honestly sheer coolness and this sheer sort of like gravitas around him, and he draws. It's instinct, and Sayer finds that hard to kind of like articulate this moment until he says, I don't know, I just I feel something, and I have to get it out, I guess. I don't always have stuff on hand to do it, so sometimes I just have to wait till I don't know. I just do it because I want to. Also, I don't know. It feels kind of weird to have so many people look at something I make, you know?
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, that was me up until, like, literally now, I guess. Honestly, I'm being kind of a
Wait,
hypocrite
really?
with you, because up until this moment, I never even really thought about sharing my own original stuff, like, publicly.
Oh.
Like, playing other people's music, you know, concertos and stuff, like, that's, like, whatever. But, like, yeah. And there, a look comes over Yada's face. Almost like, by asking you, why haven't you shared this with other people, it's almost like she's held up a mirror to herself in this moment. Yeah, well, anyway.
I mean,
sorry.
I'm looking forward to hearing your music. My boyfriend and I were hoping to dance to it. I don't know if that's what you do at album release parties. So if
Dance.
that's not what we're meant to do, we won't.
Actually, that would be cool as hell. If you can find a way to dance to this, like, props.
Can't you dance with all music?
You certainly can. Certainly can. Actually, I think I need to go up now. It's like almost time. Good running into
Right.
you though. Thanks for coming.
No, and Seer, like, as he trails off, there's a feeling as Yara's about to leave, where he thinks about, like, the eyes linger on this whole thing. If all of this work for Yara, whose personality is now finally forming in Sayer's head, of, oh, if Yara didn't suddenly feel this draw, then maybe they were encouraged to, just like how Sayer was encouraged to draw on and share his art in this moment by Yara, and it just clumsily falls out of his mouth. You know Ray loves you, right?
Yara looks like you slapped her. I gotta go.
Look,
And she turns around and just without looking at, like, all goodwill between you feels like you've sliced at it with a sword and it's snapped, it's gone. She rushes away from you, kind of like hurrying as she approaches the stage.
fuck. So much more normal.
As Yara Trakar gets onto the stage, this din of conversation, laughter, good social mores around here, all of this dies down as hungry eyes fix onto the youngest spider. And to her credit, Yara looks unbothered as soon as she steps into the spotlight. Like, whatever strange, like, jitteriness you put on her, Seer, in those last moments before she goes on stage, she's able to kind of like either brush away or like tamp down in this moment. As she very quickly checks the various instruments and pedals that have already been set up on the stage for her. You see an electric sitar here, a bank of blinking MIDI controllers there, and finally, as the last conversation bubbles down to a close, Yara speaks into the mic that is taped to the side of her jaw. She addresses the audience. Hi. Thanks for coming. And thank you to Professor Ifueko and House Huyen for hosting this event. This has been a really great evening so far, actually. So let's give them all a hand. Yes, thank you, Professor. It means a lot to see the entire city here with me tonight. Actually, on a personal note, it is no secret that I tend to make art alone, by myself, and that my music hasn't historically been for other people or people at all, really. So, I'd like to thank my mother, Willow Trakar, for teaching me what it means to be an artist and a spider, and I'd like to thank my sibling, Rhododendron Trakar, for encouraging me. And Yara pauses. And Nova, you can sense that most of what she's said is carefully rehearsed, but performed in such a way that it feels off the cuff and natural, except for that final line, that piece of gratitude toward Ro. That isn't rehearsed, that's genuine. And Yara continues. Anyway, we have 8 minutes until midnight right now, and 8 minutes until the album drops on Paramusic and Dottify and wherever you listen to stuff. So I figured I would play 2 of my personal favorites from my new album, The Web. This is Your Grave, followed by Family Tree. Enjoy. And the crowd applauds. There's some murmuring of excitement at the names of these tracks, and Yara turns to face her imposing arrangement of devices. And she begins. Dreamy synths swell from the speakers, layering and building and building and layering until a guttural growl of industrial noise slices through like a thunderbolt, piercing a storm, and then the first song explodes in earnest, a rollicking diatribe through sounds that really shouldn't work together, but somehow really do. It's masterful, the way Yara flits from instrument to instrument on stage, screaming into the mic, mixing effects and filters live, stomping on pedals, turning dials. At one point, she picks up an electric acrylic, completely transparent violin while belting, sawing a 3-part harmony against herself on the strings. And this entire time, we see Anise standing to the side of the stage, signing along to the music and providing interpretation. Her hands are a river of motion, dexterously holding the shifting lyrics and changing tempo, while Yara creates and improvises. The movements of their fingers, hands, wrists, and arms are intimate and insightful as the littlest spider crescendos into a bridge. It's an incredible set. Sayir, as the music fills this auditorium and completely hypnotizes everyone in the audience, omens call to you in a variety of sounds and images. What does this one feel like?
Sayir sits in this moment, and I think Yinghe might have come and joined in to the main area, and they're not the 2 of them are not fully dancing, but they're at the very least, like, there's so many people here, they're at the very least like enjoying the music together, and the music slows, discordant, and Sayir starts looking at all of the people. Omens and Doom are the people in Inferno, and his eyes flit to Yara, who is shadowed by these haloed versions of themselves, and those form dominoes in his head, and he sees a single domino flicking as a series of other dominoes fall behind it.
Lumira, it is no small thing to watch someone truly embrace their calling. In this moment, Yara is both lost in the music and completely found. How does her song harmonize with your own?
I think music, regardless of what form or genre that it comes in, is transformative and relative to whoever is on the receiving end of that. So I think what Lumira hears, instead of not necessarily a discophony of different sounds that are blending together, but what I think more than anything else is she's hearing the blending of it all, the weaving of all the different parts and pieces that make up one whole big broader picture. I think that is what she hears and what's like kind of flowing through her as she's just like vibing, like two-stepping, swaying side to side while she's listening.
Sinan, you're a little preoccupied right now, but even you can hear and feel the soft vibrations of the music from outside of the auditorium. How does it vibrate through the dust in your soul?
There is harmony. Deep, resonant harmony coming from a river and the dust echoing inside of him. A dead man surrounded by dead people. All of them so alive. And he feels so alive.
Ro, you can feel the vibrations of this sonic landscape through the thin filaments of the web. You know these songs. You've been there while Yara worked and crafted them. How are they different tonight?
They are freer than anything that Ro has ever seen pass by Yara's face, Yara's eyes, in her hands. And Ro is beaming, watching the littlest spider in her element. And not only that, but that they get to see Yara for who they really are. And everyone else does too. Gets to meet Yara for the first time, really meet her in this moment. This is different because it's a conversation with everyone else in the room. Yara is introducing herself to them for the first time in a real way. And Ro is filled with pride and an emotion that Ray would never admit to.
With 30 seconds left until midnight, Yara Takar finishes her set, and the auditorium erupts into raucous applause. The lights above pulse and flash. Yara is sweating, nodding, riding out that high from the final simmering warble of her electric 12-string guitar. She bows, and when she straightens, the ghost of a smile flickers on her face. This is Yara, raw and unfiltered, all of her pride open on that stage. Midnight comes. Midnight passes. The audience is still clapping, cheering, but now we all hear dings, notification sounds across people's various devices. A few guests check their phones, raising their eyebrows, nodding with impressed expressions. Because now that the album is live, the press embargo has been lifted, and the reviews are pouring in. And based on the looks around all of you, you can garner that the initial feedback from this room and from Inferno at large is overwhelmingly positive. And up on that stage, Yara beams, her chest heaving, eyes swimming across this sea of listeners until they find you, Ro. But then, Seer, as the dings continue to sound, as glowing review after glowing review pours in, dread begins to pool in your chest. Not just dread, doom. With each ding, each review, the doom thuds louder and louder, stronger and stronger, a bad storm rising on a horizon you cannot see, but your body, your heart, your soul knows it before your mind can catch up. An omen is coming. It is falling like a blade in front of your eyes, and then you hear it. The first chuckle, a snicker, a small intake of breath amidst the applause, and then more and more. Heads are bowing, hands are stilling, phone screens are flashing. A murmur begins to build, a whisper, at first buried by the dying applause, but growing louder and louder as the clapping subsides and more eyes turn toward personal devices and up on stage. Yara frowns, she falters. She can sense it too. Something is amiss. And then, Sayer, you feel a tug on your sleeve, and Yinghe pulls the pear pad out from your pocket and is shoving it underneath your face, showing its screen to you. Their silver eyes are wide and concerned, and on the screen, you see a review of Yada's album, posted by a Songbird Studios. And the review is scathing. I'm gonna cut right there. Thank you all so much for tuning in so far. Oh, our first stream back after 3 weeks off. So good to be back in the swing of very normal good things happening to everyone all the time. See you in just about 10 minutes. Bisho. Transplainers, you know what time it is. It's sponsor Connie time with a word from Hero Forge. Hero Forge has officially leveled up with kit bashing. When you become a pro member, you can place up to 20 more items anywhere on one of your Blorbos with their own independent scaling, rotation, and movement. You can make your character look exactly as they should, even if the specific clothing or accessory option isn't available at the base level. You just have to get a little creative. And because I love you, Transplainers, here's a special sneak peek at a kit bashed version of Oblivion. Just look at those wings and that base. This would not be possible without the power of kit bashing. The combinations are literally endless, and you can print your kit bashed Blorbos as plastic minis, standees, digital STL files, or even Hero Forge's brand new color statuettes. Color statuettes are twice the size of a regular mini, and just look at this. I mean, look at how massive this is, and especially in comparison to a regular mini, you can really get into all the nooks and crannies and details that wouldn't be as apparent on a regular sized mini. Just look at how Oblivion dwarfs Oka here. And also, if you're a GM, consider busting out one of these bad boys during a boss fight to really get your players shaking in their boots. Oblivion agrees. Unlock the true power of Hero Forge with a Hero Forge Pro subscription starting at $3.99 a month. Get in there and start creating at bit.ly/transforge. Now, let's get back to the show. Or more likely, just more of the waiting room. Trust in her will. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to this back half of the Chaos Protocol. We're going to get right back into it. So this is, of course, a dark fantasy series that may contain content that is triggering for some viewers. Content warnings for this session may include fantasy violence, blood, grief, trauma, vampirism, romance, references to sex, complex character dynamics, conflict between family members, food and drink, substance use, and mentions of spiders. If you are on Twitch, use !CW for a look at these content warnings at any time. And if you're on YouTube, then our wonderful mods will be grabbing these content warnings and putting them in chat from time to time. And with that out of the way, let's get right back into the session. The long-awaited debut from the spare to the spare of House Drakkar is a bizarre web of contradictions. Stiff but floundering, overly precious yet apathetic, threadbare and contrived. This album tries to offer an exciting vision for the future of music, but beneath the flashy synths and strained sound collages, there is nothing of substance at all. The web is not without its merits. Yara Drakkar is clearly a skilled artisan. She wrote all of the songs, played all of the instruments, and produced the entire album herself. Her technical skill cannot be denied. Family Tree, the one sufferable track amidst the album's interminable 52-minute runtime, is peppered with serviceable riffs and modestly interesting sonic motifs. But Yara's debut lacks vision, soul, any meaning at all. One can only imagine the anemic third spider hunched over a startling array of kit-bashed MIDI controllers, tasked with doing the one thing the children of House Drakkar could never achieve: produce an original thought. If Willow Drakkar handed her daughter a recipe for making a good album, Yara Drakkar could no doubt accomplish such a task. But that's not how art works. One must pave their own path, build their own legacy. Left to her own devices, the youngest spider is lost. She knows how to weave, but she doesn't know why she's doing it, or even what to say. The web proves that Yara Drakkar is a tactful artisan, but she is not an artist. And yet, Yara alone cannot be blamed for the failures of her album. She is a product of her house, the same house currently making a very public and very eager play at shaping the future of Inferno. The spiders have not been quiet about their ambitions. They promise positive change, radical reinventions, better prospects for all. But the olive branch they offer is rotted to the root, and this family tree is no different. We must be careful about the promises we believe. The web promised a musical revolution, but trotted out the same old, dressed up in silks and flowers. The most perplexing aspect of this album isn't its trite lyricism, overtuned production, or incoherent morass of ideas. It's the question that it begs of its dissatisfied listeners. Why do we keep hoping that House Drakkar will do anything but disappoint? 2.3 stars out of 5. Up on the stage, Yara looks stricken. Her hand grips her phone, her eyes are plastered to the screen as this bombshell of a review circulates throughout the auditorium, you all hear whispers mounting, eyes increasingly traveling to the youngest spider, and, worst of all, quiet pepperings of derisive laughter. There are no obnoxious howls or loud grating snorts. It's more subtle than that. Condescending giggles hidden behind hands, quirked eyebrows limned with dark humor, the judgmental glint in a vampire's eye. Yara shoves her phone into her pocket with a frantic, frenetic energy, and she storms unceremoniously off the stage, shielding her expression from the crowd, tearing the mic off her face. But it's too late. This review has cut the youngest spider open. There is blood in the water now, blood that every undead can taste. Sayer, Lumira, how do you react to this spilled blood?
I think Lumira feels it's hard to pinpoint. Like, part of it is deep hurt because she could tell that this was something that Yada was really proud of, and that this is something that they like poured their heart and soul into. And it has to be the most crushing and devastating feeling to have someone just absolutely rip it and tear it to shreds. And then on the other half of that is a simmering anger. Not necessarily just at the review itself, but at the reaction of everyone else around. She thinks it's very disgusting that there are people that are snickering, especially in the presence of House Thrakar. And if people may feel however they want to feel towards Yada and even Ro, but Willow is there. And y'all are pulling this shit in front of Willow. Very corny. So I think that's that's really kind of where Lumira is like sitting at. So she's like stuck between like watching Yada and bouncing in between, looking at Yada, looking at Ro, and then looking for the rest of her team as well.
Your eyes find Sayer.
Sayer looks like a deer in headlights. The second the pear pad was raised to his eyes and he latched on to every word of this Songbird Studios. And as the name rings in his mind's voice, it sounds and screams like a thunderous omen. And it peels and radiates out like a throbbing wound to everything else in this space. Sayer's mind is no longer about the words itself, the actual criticism. It is flared beyond that. As with every snicker and every chuckle, every negative reaction that occurs to the people in this room, there's that dreaded sound again, like a domino falling onto the ground. Doom, 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 doom. And it is radiating out, and it freezes Sayer in place, locking him to the ground. What has he done? What can he do? It's too much. It's too much.
Sayer, the doom within you, it does not abate as the whispers mount. It struck when this review came in, but its specter does not lift. Not now. Something else is coming, something very, very bad. The sword has dropped, it has pierced flesh and drawn blood, but now it retreats, not to leave, but to hang over your head once more, a threat, an omen. Ro. Time moves fast. Time moves, slow, dreadfully, horribly, all at once. You can sense the wolves around you beginning to circle. Eyes trail Yada, eyes trail you. How do you staunch the bleeding?
It is automatic. Ro is moving faster than anyone else in the room. As soon as they read the review, every word of the review, Ray put their phone quickly away and dashed in the direction that Yada is moving off of the stage, wherever it is that she's going, and they can't help but feel like Aster in this moment. Ray remembers the way that Aster had taken care of Rem and regrettably hadn't recognized it for what it was. And seeing Yada like this, seeing Yada so vulnerable and exposed in front of everyone, well, it reminds them a little of themselves. And maybe, just maybe, that means that Ro can help, can staunch this bleeding in a way that matters. And so Ray rushes across the room towards Yada immediately, not paying any mind to any of the other people around, because the first person that needs to be taken care of in this moment is Yada.
You move immediately, single-mindedly, toward where you see Yada disappear behind the stage, but then Willow is there, cutting in front of you. Your mother's bright yellow eye is steady, unflinching, but there is something burnt beneath the surface, the root of an old, burdened tree smoldering with cold fire. A smoldering that isn't just for her house, isn't just for appearances, it's for you, for Yada. You see it hidden behind that perfect mask of her face, the concern, the care, the... She places a hand on your shoulder. Her fingers are cold and firm. And she says to you, "Do not falter. I will take care of this."
Ro nods in response. And just as soon as Willow will allow room, we'll continue making that beeline towards Yada.
Willow releases your shoulder immediately, inhales, and then strides toward the stage as you go behind it. And your eyes follow, briefly, head turning away from that track toward Yara for an infinity of moments as your mother walks past a painting, hanging on the wall, a painting with a beautiful brass frame carved with ivy, leaves, nasturtiums. The ask is so clear, Ro. You remember his eyes, brown, yellow, asking you to see what he sees in the world around you, in the paintings he never got to make. The piece Willow strides past depicts a mother wolf in the midst of a snowstorm. Snarling and growling, she drips with wounds and blood, shielding her fleeing cubs from a pack of ravenous hunting dogs. When love is an illegible and forbidden tongue, the spiders speak in blood. Everything else is a performance. You find Yada behind the stage, under the large, private shadows of looming sound equipment and discarded dollies. She is pacing back and forth, back and forth. That mic has been long discarded onto the ground, and the makeup around her eyes is slightly smeared. Her hands are frantic in constant motion. She keeps touching her mouth like she wishes she was smoking. How do you approach her?
Ro, in another time, not even that long ago, would have approached and immediately tried to fix everything that was wrong about Yada's appearance. The makeup smearing, the frantic movements of their body, all of it. But not today. Today, Ro rushes in, fixing the twinkling dupatta on their shoulder so that it doesn't fall off, and instead places a gentle loving hand on Yada's shoulder. And with a quiet, slow, ideally calming demeanor, will ask, Yada, are you okay?
Yada flinches as though your hand were white hot and burning her, flinches away from your touch, and quickly says, I'm fine. Bro, I'm fine. It's just some worthless article that doesn't mean anything. I mean, why should I care about what some random shrike, because it's obviously some random fucking shrike, but why should I care what they say about my work? Why should I care what they think about my work? I mean, it's not for them. I mean, apparently it's not for anyone, according to that review, but I don't fucking care.
It doesn't matter what the Shrikes, what House Lanius thinks of your work. You know that they have it out for our house. Their opinions are not even real opinions. Your music.
Their opinions.
Well, did you see all of the other positive, wonderful reviews that you got?
Yeah, well, maybe they're all just kissing Trakar's ass and they're not saying what they actually think, and maybe this reviewer is actually saying what they're actually thinking, even if their opinion is worthless, because their opinion is obviously worthless, because it's obviously fucking Tavash, right? This is obviously, I mean, who writes like this? Who talks like this? Contrived? Anemic? Who uses words like that? Who do they fucking think they are? Pretentious son of a fucking asshole. Doesn't know what the fuck Toss talking about. And Yada's voice breaks. And they quickly turn around, but it's very obvious that they're choking back a sob.
Ro bristles at the mention of it obviously being Tavash. I mean, Ray knew. I think anyone who knows even a little bit about what happened between the two of them can tell who wrote the review. And for Yada to just say it plainly between the two of them, I think it takes Ro by surprise. But they take it in stride, and they hear Yada's voice break in that choked back sob, and they try again. Ro takes a step forward towards their little sibling, and they put a hand hesitantly and softly, questioningly, on Yada's back. You're right. You're right. It's obviously Tavash who wrote it, and I think that's even more reason not to put any stock in Tada's words. They would look at or listen to the most beautiful, masterful piece of art, but if a Takrar made it, it might as well be dirt. You know that.
Your hand stays on her back. She doesn't throw it off like she did when it was on her shoulder. You don't see her face. She still isn't looking at you. There's a beat. And then she says softly, and then with mounting fervor, whatever. It's fine, bro. I'm fine, because I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I hate feeling like this. Why do I feel like this? Why do I care so much?
And Ro turns Yada around to face Rem, holding her gently, steadily by the shoulders. Yada, you are a good musician. You always have been. And I can see how much you care about your work, and that's why I wanted everyone else to see it too, to hear it too. Because you deserve to be recognized for it.
No, this is doom, Ro! This feeling inside of me, it is ruin! It is calamity! It is the fall of our fucking house! It is exactly the thing I've been trying to avoid, exactly the thing I did avoid for years! For years! Like you never could, like you never did!
I know how you're feeling. I
No,
went
you
through this
don't!
exact.
I am not like you, Ro! You are a fool! You always were a fucking fool! Doing what you did with him! Like you weren't courting disaster for yourself and your house and for me! You should have never believed in me! You should have never told me to pursue this, to make this, to sing, to write! I was happy before this, not... Fuck, no, I wasn't happy, but I was fine. I was content. I had embraced it, Ro. I had embraced my place in the house, and I was fine with it. I knew what it meant. The endless performance, the political marriages, even the fucking assassination attempts. I was prepared for it. I was trained for it. But this? And Yada rips at her shirt so hard she shreds the fabric, tears of blood pouring down her face.
Yada.
Don't want this! I don't want to love my art, bro. I don't want to care about this, but I fucking do. Okay? And it's your fault. It's all your fault! I told you I don't make art for people! How am I gonna come back from this? I will never be able to pick up my pen again without thinking about what your horrific fucking Shrike wrote about me, except it wasn't even about me, it was about you! Fuck you, bro! Fuck you!
Yada, And Ro, I think, takes a deep breath, allowing Yada's feelings, Yada's hurt, to wash over Rem. Because Ray knows exactly what Yada's feeling, even if she doesn't think that they do. Ray recognizes themselves in Yada in this moment, and it breaks their heart. This is the exact thing that Ro didn't want to happen to Yada. And it's here, inevitable. Like it was going to happen anyway. Like it does to every single Thakrar in the house. And I think your way was wrong, maybe? Or at least here, it doesn't work. And so Ro takes a step back. And they fix their shoulders. Okay. Okay. You're right that this is a mess that has a lot to do with Tavash, the Shrikes, House Lanius, and everything that they have ever done to our house, and something that we have to pay back tenfold. I'm so sorry that they did this to you. You don't deserve it.
It should have been you. Not Aster.
And the mask comes back on Ro. What were they thinking? That this gentle way is the way to get... No, of course not. This is not how the spiders take care of each other. This is not how we protect each other. This is not how we love each other. And so the mask comes back on. And Ro says, "Don't falter, Yada. I'll take care of this." And without another word, Ray turns on their heel and rushes out of the room.
Sayur, Lumira, you see Ro peeling out from behind the stage. Ro, where are you headed?
There's only one place that I could possibly go at this moment, knowing exactly who wrote that review, that critique, if we can even call it that. The Archway. Where else would Tavash Lanius, the over-dramatic person that they are, where else would he be right now?
So Sayer and Lumira, you see Ro making a beeline for the door, not sparing a second look at the party, not even pretending to play host anymore for the rest of the evening. And Ro, what expression does Nova see on your face?
It is white hot rage. It is. You all saw Ro at the bloodbath when Jamie attempted to take Yada's unlife. That's nothing compared to what you see now. There is something so deeply personal and intimate about the anger that is flaring off of Ro's face right now. It is unrestrained, unbridled, raw, and deep-rooted like a tree that's been here for centuries. There is history behind this.
As Ro heads toward the door, Willow Trakar takes the stage. She does so with cold, unyielding steel, and she very quickly redirects Inferno's attention to the party at hand, sparing a few barbed words about vultures and opportunists. And that gets the crowd to stop snickering, to behave themselves, at least for now. A few attendees even look embarrassed about their behavior. Willow finishes her speech, walks off the stage, and a different kind of music starts playing to fill the space, the atmosphere in the room. The tension here doesn't dissipate so much as become masked. Masked by this new music, masked by smiles, masked by whispers. Willow weaves through the crowd like a slender hunter, deflecting and defending any remaining attacks against her daughter. It's not totally resolved, but the mood is better than the open, hemorrhaging wound from moments before. Lumira, Sayer, Yinghe, the three of you see Ro heading toward the doors. What do?
This is gonna be bad.
Sayer is wide-eyed. His pupils are the size of saucers right now. He knows not what happened behind the stage, but he heard another domino drop. And this domino hit another, and the sound is echoing as if waiting, this hanging, this guillotine above the heads of everyone here. And Sarah says, "We have to go. There's only
Sarah,
doom."
Wait. Hear me out. Sending her.
What?
Listen. This requires some type of subtlety that, let's be honest, you do not carry right now. We need someone that can slink into the shadows and follow and report back exactly where they are going so that we can prepare on the back end and meet them there. Yinghe is the only one that can do that. And Lumira looks to Yinghe like her eyes are pleading and also apologetic, like not trying to put him on the spot, but also acknowledging the talents that she does have and how useful they can be in this moment right now. Do you? Only if you want to. I don't want to put you in any danger.
I'll do it.
Stay in the shadows. Stay quiet. Do not make yourself known. As soon as you know what is happening, you report back to us. Meet us. Wait for us. Then we pull the trigger.
Sayer rips Patient off of his wrist, the little bracelet, and quickly ties it around Yinghe's wrist with the same oath of protection that he gave to him before in the City of Heaven. Protect him. Protect him. You have patience with you.
Lumira puts her hands on Yinghe's shoulders, looking them directly in their eyes. There is no one I trust more that can do this than you. You got this.
Okay. But we're a team. You have to come when I call.
We're
I
not
would
that far
never-
behind.
Never leave you by yourself. Okay?
Okay. As soon as I know what's going on, as soon as I know where Rhododendron is headed, I'll let you know.
And
We'll
we
meet
will
them
come
there.
running.
Okay.
Okay? Keep yourself out of danger. You can do this.
Okay. Okay.
And Lumira looks back to Sayir. Go get Sinan. Tell him what's happening. I'm gonna go find Yada.
Okay. And say there's like a heartbeat, 2 heartbeats, and your voice grounds him again amidst the sound of doom like radiating around him, and he scampers off to the area he last saw Zynon in, which is somewhere on the outside. And Zynon, at some point, you hear the voice of Sayir calling, Zynon! Zynon!
You're muted, Kai.
You're muted, Kai.
Over here. Zynon is wiping the last of the blood off of his face.
Jesus Christ.
What,
Zynon.
what happened?
You had been very intimately partaking with Diablo, and his blood, it hums in your mouth, in your throat. It hums with blessing. You learn what Diablo's gift is, not so much with words, but through taste, through tongue, through teeth, and fang. It is the ability to create life itself from the act of death. The gift of the river. Diablo can make vampires. And something within you resonates with that, Zynon. You are also intimately attuned to the act of creating life. You are a father. This is shared between the two of you.
Zynon feels this life growing, burning inside of him. A river is not just water. Many things come from it, many things return to it. River. And in his mind, for a moment, he names that river. He names it the name that he knows belongs to it, the one that he is now uncertain he could look at, because within that there is some kind of gentle hand holding Sing. And he wipes the blood off of his lips and looks to Seer's arrival.
Zynon! It's Ro.
What happened?
It's the strikes ruined the party. Ro's off her blood.
Oh shit.
Diablo lets out a deep breath. The two of you had missed this completely while you were out here in the hall. All of the doom, all of the drama, the conflict, it had been nothing at all, but now it returns. Your duty, everything you have to do, your strike team, your family, your house. Zynon. Diablo looks at you, eyes flick between yours and Sayir's. Go. Take care of yours.
You keep the peace.
Yeah. And Diablo takes in a deep breath, puts his face back on, as so many people in Inferno learn to do before they learn to even speak, and nods at you. Do what you have to do.
I will try to make sure that Rhododendron comes back.
Diablo nods, and there is a trust in that nod. Given the time you've spent with him, you've intuited some kind of friendship, connection, bond, history between Diablo and Rhododendron. And he would not just trust anyone else to look after this matter of the middle child of the Takars. But this new bond you forged with them, they're placing a bit of that trust in your hands now.
And Zynon doesn't say it, but thinks of the image of Diablo and Tavash's intimate moment sharing smoke. He doesn't know yet how far this goes, but he looks to Diablo. No death tonight. No second death.
Make sure that doesn't happen. I'll
do
catch
my
up with
best.
you. I have a feeling I know where Rhododendron's going.
All right. Seer.
You see Sayer's eyes, the pupil size of saucers, and he's like, "Come," and rushes back to where Lumira is, with
Lumira.
Zynon in tow.
While Sayer was fetching Zynon, you go off to find Yara. She is still backstage. Mere moments have passed since Ro left her, and you find her with her back turned to you, taking in a deep breath.
On the way to wherever Lumira saw Ro running from, she runs over by the bar and grabs 2 shot glasses and a bottle of like blood whiskey, essentially, and goes over to find Yada. And when she sees Yada like breathing, back turned to her, Lumira doesn't say anything. She lets the sound of the shot glasses hitting the countertop announce her presence before she does. And she drops the bottle down and says, "I read once, opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one, but it doesn't mean it's clean."
Lumira, I didn't hear you. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. But I will be okay. I will be rejoining the party shortly.
Don't bullshit me, Yada. Come drink with me. And Lumira will pour 2 shot glasses, scooch one of the full ones over towards Yada.
Fine, just one drink. And she scooches onto the bar stool, takes the blood whiskey, and knocks it back in like a single. It's one of those sipping whiskeys, you know? You're supposed to savor it, but she knocks that shit back and like slams the glass back down.
Lumira shows off a bit. She's been Inferno for quite a bit of time now. So instead, she just kind of smirks and leans over, picks up the shot with no hands, just an open mouth, tosses it back, and pops it back on the table.
You're really
All right.
starting to fit in here.
Listen, I know we haven't gotten a chance to speak much, and you can take everything that I'm saying right now with a grain of salt. But I know what it's like to have something that's so intrinsically a part of yourself be denied. Someone tells you that it's not right. Someone tells you that it doesn't sound or look or should be the way that it's supposed to be. To hell with it. You are made perfectly the way you are. What you do, what you create, what you are, your being is perfectly you. Perfectly imperfect. So don't ever let anyone ever take that away from you. That type of pain is not something I would wish on my worst enemy. So hear me and hear me good, Yada Thakar. Spiders are known to persevere. to be above. Hold that, honor that. Keep pushing with that. What you do, what you create, nothing, no one can take that from you. Be glad no one can.
What if they're right?
They're not. That's what I'm telling you. One asshole opinion in a room full of thousands of good ones. Before all of this, people were dancing and enjoying themselves. People liked it. That's what's important. The people that love you will never, ever disparage your work. They will never disparage who you are. What they will do is love you and hold you and push you through that. So focus on the people that love you, not Inferno as a whole.
Love. My family. There's this curse. You're the second person that... I think I just did something terrible, Lumira.
What?
Rhododendron. You're not thinking. It is your corpse and all the memories entombed within your living dead flesh that drives you forward. Memories of a love once had and lost, memories of anger and strife, memories of pain, violence, blood, death. You have no idea where you're going. You have every idea where you're going. You storm through Inferno like an undead possessed, and Inferno parts before you. Nothing can stand in your way, not tonight, not ever again. Crowds stumble out of your way, cars slow down, bikers and buses honk in distress, but you pay them no mind. You stride past glaring red streetlights, traffic-choked intersections, letting your feet take you where you must. What single sentence rings through your head as you walk?
I will take care of this.
And a shadow follows you. And it is at that instant, Strike Team Nova, Lumira, Zainin, and Seir, as the three of you reconvene by the bar. Lumira, you asking Yara that question. All of your devices buzz, they ding with a urgent notification from Yinghe that just says one word. Archway.
Fuck, we have to go.
We gotta go.
And we cut to the three of you rushing through these twisting streets. It is no easy task to make up for lost ground against Rhododendron Trakar. They are fast, they are dexterous, they know these roads like the roots of their own fangs. But you three are no longer strangers to this city anymore as you catch up to Yinghe, who waits for you at an intersection and then rush across. You know these streets. At this point, it's your home, too, in a way, and so you follow. Shadows tailing shadow, propelled by the strong instinct that whatever this is greater than even Rhododendron themselves. Bao Bao, damn you, I need to retake
Bao
that.
Bao!
Oh, C's coming to get him. I need to get... He might meow again. Bao Bao! Bao Bao!
Make sure we can see C in the background. Everyone's like, hi, C!
He
Oh
also
my God,
doesn't want
here they
this.
come! Bao Bao's getting airlifted out of the scene. Okay.
Not airdropped. Getting airdropped back in the C's room.
Pear dropped.
Hair dropped. Okay. And so you follow, shadows tailing shadow, propelled by the strong instinct that whatever this is greater than even Rhododendron themselves. Yinghe, who usually lags behind all of you like Nova's own shadow, pulls up beside the three of you. Hey, are we sure that following rhododendron is a good idea? Should we try to stop them, catch up to them?
I needed to know what direction they were going so that we could attempt to intervene before all hell breaks loose. No pun intended.
Maybe they're just going to have a nice conversation where they talk everything out. Something bad's going to happen, right? Right,
Yes.
Sayer?
Doom. It's everything. It's and in Sayer's
Sayer.
mind is a row of dominoes. And the dominoes fall and fall with each footfall of rhododendron heading towards the archway. The sounds are louder and louder and they thunder in Sayer's head. And then there are doors. Colorful doors, painted with bright, vivid colors of yellow, blue, reds, and oranges. The doors of a storybox. And on the first door, we see the storming of rhododendron and away from Yara as Yara spits venom towards them. And then behind it, it is the tale of star-crossed lovers and the death of a brother. And then behind that door is two people warring, friends once, and a red river behind them. And then behind it, it's the Red River of Inferno. It is cycles and cycles and cycles, and Sayer is brought back into this moment by Sinan's voice.
Hey.
It's
What do you feel? Doom?
Tell us.
It's everything.
It's okay.
It's cycles. It's every
Sayer,
bloody
Sayer,
thing that's happened here.
Look. Breathe. Explain. Lumira cups both sides of your face and looks you directly in your eyes. Tell me what you feel.
It's like it keeps happening. The same story, the same vengeance. The vengeance of the fucking founders, and then it's the vengeance of the household between Ro and Tavash, and then it's every single tiny vengeance, and now there's this cycle. I don't know how to
Celebrate.
Maybe-
stop it.
Maybe we let it end.
And Lumira drops her hands around your face and looks over at Zynon, nodding her head in agreement.
What do you mean?
Well, you said it's
If
a
there's-
cycle. History does nothing but repeat itself for those who don't pay that much attention to it and lets it keep going on. So what if we set this cock up differently?
What if it's simpler than that? A world stuck forever in death. A river that runs red. Both a curse and a blessing, a doom upon this world that won't let itself end. Maybe some things just have to stop. Whatever that looks like.
Let's be there to make sure that this ending is a good one then.
I agree.
And the
Come on.
Omen speaker is silent. For all he knows is that doom is a bad ending. And he does not know what lies beyond this. Only that when it happens, he has to be ready for something.
And then you arrive. All of you. You arrive at the place where all of this began, where all of this ended, where all of this will end. The Inferno Archway. It is a new moon, and it is dark as death. The archway looms like the promise of violence, an open gate of stone and wood straddling a narrow brook that travels all the way down to the Red River itself. An early winter breeze ruffles the dying leaves of stately oaks, carrying the scent of the one other person here, Tivosh Lanius. They stand on the opposite bank, framed by the open threshold of the archway. They lean thoughtfully against their cane, head cocked to one side, crimson glasses glinting in the starlight. They're looking at you, Ro. They are only looking at you. For a moment, Shrike on one bank, Spider and Nova on the other. There is only silence, only darkness, only you, Ro, and your beautiful, terrible Shrike. And then you speak, and the words that pour from you are too intimate, too sacred for anyone to understand aside from you and him. They are illegible to Strike Team Nova, to the Houses of Inferno, to me, to you, even to our beloved audience, for whom we perform and for whom we bleed. These words are not for us to hear, they are not for us to know. We could not comprehend them if we tried. What does this illegible love sound like to us who may never know its true form?
At this riverbank, under this archway, where the twice-bitten, crowned by tears was born, they open their mouth, and out comes a snarl. Oh, Shrike heart, hid with a flowering face. Did ever vampire keep so fair a tomb? Beautiful tyrant, fiend in angelical, dove-feathered vulture, wolvish ravening lamb. Oh, nature, what hadst thou to do in hell when thou didst bower the spirit of a fiend in mortal paradise of such sweet flesh? Oh, that deceit should dwell in such a gorgeous palace.
And the architect of sorrow responds. Inferno, what news? What is the Thrakar's doom? What sorrow craves acquaintance at my hand that I yet know not? Rhododendron, come forth, thou fearful undead. Affliction is enamored of thy parts, and thou art wedded to calamity.
Unceremoniously. There is nothing else to do here. Rose yellow eyes burn like raging fire, like the sun. And they direct all of that fire, all of that ire, all of that rage, all of that heartbreak, that betrayal at Tivosh. And they do not invite Tivosh to a duel. They break the edict of the Crimson Tapestry. And they rush at Tivosh, claws and fangs out, looking for blood.
Strike Team Nova. Before you can move, respond, react to this collision of sudden, unceremonious, and yet incredibly intimate violence, there is a vibration in the air around you. And glowing and rising out of Lumira's pocket is the Oracle. It buzzes in excitement, and it proudly proclaims, "Mission complete! The Shrike has been delivered to Rhododendron Thrakar. It is finally time to return to the Syndicate. Are you ready to go back now, Strike Team Nova?" And on the sound of silver meeting steel, we're going to end the session there. Thank you all so much for tuning into this episode of the Chaos Protocol. If you have enjoyed what you saw here tonight, please consider leaving us a positive review, joining the Discord server, or posting about us on social media. Not only does it help our creator brains when we are on the verge of burnout, it also helps us continue to reach out to sponsors to make this work possible. But before I introduce us any further, I'd love to pass along introductions to, starting with our incredible guest, Humna.
Hello everyone, my name is Humna. I use any and all pronouns, and tonight I have been Rhododendron Takshar, who is going to kill Tavash. That's just going to happen. Everyone, it's just going to happen. We need to accept that. Yes, I'm looking at you, Nova. But I am a TTRPG performer and producer. You can find me all over the internet at Lilith TTRPG, though I am most active on Blue Sky if you want regular updates. The thing that I will promote for tonight is that a new AP that I have produced called Lori's House is out now. Episode 1 is live and episode 2 comes out on Thursday. You should go check it out at tendervicious.com on Blue Sky or Tendervicious Studios on all of the other social medias. Kai is our wonderful GM, our architect for it, and C, who is behind the scenes, is our dramaturge. So if you like our work, you should go check it out. It is a very beautiful, personal, intimate story of magical realism about community, identity, and imperfect memory. I highly recommend it. I'm really proud of the work that we did. So go take a look at it. Go listen. And with that, I will pass things over to Val.
Hello everyone, my name is Valiant Dorian. I use he him his pronouns. You can find me all on the internet, Valiant Dorian or at Alta Spirit Bear. Please enjoy that lovely treasure I just set you on. Tonight I had the distinct pleasure of playing Sayir the Dominoes Haunt Me last name. Who uses he they pronouns? I'm gonna pass it on over to the sexy vampire of the hour. Honestly, dang, good job. Go ahead, Kai.
We did it, y'all. Hi everyone, I'm still in shock, but I am Kai. I use he, they, and she pronouns. You can find me all over the internet as Estelle of M. Ladris and over at Tender Vicious Studios over on Lori's House, among 1,000 other places. So follow me for all of my many things that I'm doing. I'm gonna bounce it on over to Sam.
Hey y'all. I'm Sam Star. Use she, they, and the occasional they pronouns. You can catch me all across the interwebs at Lust for Life X. Mainly on Blue Sky. That's, I mean, me and social media are arch enemies. I kind of only really use it for here. But if you want to know exactly what I'm doing in the space, that's more than likely where you should follow me to see my shit. Let's see. Yeah, wow, what a fucking episode. Let's pass it on out to the boss to send us on home for the night.
The boss. One last final cast shout out to our incredible voice of Abina Zushur from the opening. That's Draconics on all social media platforms, namely Blue Sky. Drac is currently cooking up a very cool AP that's going to be coming out on the one-shot. Is that announced yet? Am I allowed to say? I don't know. Coming out soon. Forget what I just said, but it's coming out soon. Drac's working on it. It's really cool.
We love you, Drac.
We love you,
didn't hear anything.
We love you, Drac.
Oh,
You're the best.
Wait, Drac
Draconics.
is saying it's been announced.
It's been announced.
Oh, Drac.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Great. So put it in chat, Drac. Sake Mac, has that been announced? Have we said the thing? Are we allowed to say the thing, Drac? Or
Not Sake Mac.
I love
I'm
how we're all
using the
watching the chat
abbreviation.
in real time to see if Drac answers.
There is
Yes,
a teaser
yes, you can say.
on the internet.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Sacred Machinations, a very cool mech actual play, is going to be coming out soon. So follow the One Shot Network wherever you pod your casts, and also follow Drac, aka Draconics, wherever you pod your casts, and do Blue Sky social media, whatnot. We will be back next week. Sorry, that was a really terrible shout out. I'm so sorry, Drac. To apologize, everyone, please follow Draconics. We will be back next week with another episode of Chaos. We only have 4 episodes left in
That's
this
2
arc.
streams.
4 episodes. Yeah. Wait, no, 4 streams. 4 streams.
4
streams?
streams.
4
4
streams,
streams,
8
8
episodes.
Yes,
Okay.
4
I
streams.
was like, wait,
8
I
what?
was about to say,
No,
what
no,
the
no, wait,
fuck?
No,
I
no.
was
streams,
her
4 streams.
crying on stream.
So it's really about to get wild, y'all. This roller coaster is like fully it's aiming for that thing, and it's gonna go down and hit the thing. So in the meantime, stick around.
Connie's
It's been 3
losing
weeks,
it,
y'all. It's
Connie's
been 3
losing
weeks.
it.
It's been 3 weeks.
You're
of
doing
stream.
so good, Connie.
Thank you. Kai believes in me. Thank you.
Yes.
I don't need to be
Say I
torn
did.
apart like Tabasco tore
Right,
apart
just
Yada
because,
in that
because I didn't
review.
say anything, I don't believe in you either. I see how it goes. Got it.
Thank you all for believing in me silently. We will see you back here next week, just like my mother. Same time, same place. So, journey well. Journey. That was
Bijo.
Bijo. We love you all. Journey well, translator.